You're listening to Online Pet Health Podcasts with Dr. Megan Kelly. Continuing education for veterinarian rehabilitation therapists. Learn more at onlinepethealth.com.
Hey Vet Rehabbers, thank you for taking the time to listen to the Veterinary Rehabilitation Podcast. Please click the subscribe button so you get notified every Wednesday when I release my next episode. To my longtime listeners, a huge thank you to you for your continued support, and just so you know, I appreciate each and every one of you. Today, I'm going to be chatting with Laura Clinton. She is a vet physio come app developer. Now, Laura and her husband created the Equicantis app, which is an exercise app for vet rehab therapists showing canine and equine therapeutic exercises. It hasn't been all plain sailing for Laura, and she shares her challenges, but also her wins and how the app has taken off over the last 18 months. They have some great plans for the future for Equicantis, and Laura has kindly offered Onlinepethealth member listeners a special discount. So you need to listen to the end to find out how to claim your exclusive discount. Now, there are so many ways to diversify your incomes as a vet rehabber, and after COVID, we know that it's so important to have another income stream. So creating an app's one, selling online courses, creating a membership like Online Pet Health, writing a book, so many different ideas. If you're interested in learning more about this, I did a webinar on the topic, and you can head over to onlinepethealth.com/income and you can watch that training. So over to Laura. Hey Laura, thank you so much for joining me.
Hello, hi Meg.
Laura, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and about how you started your company?
Okay, so I'm Laura Clinton. I'm the founder of Equicantis. So that's the equine and canine exercise prescription app. So, God, where do we start? we launched it back in August 21, so not quite 2 years old yet. And it has been the most wonderful, enjoyable roller coaster of life and emotion.
So where did the idea come from? I mean, like how many years in the making was it? Let's start off by saying that. So when did you first have the idea compared to when you actually launched it?
Do you know what? I actually find it a bit difficult to pin down because there have been babies in between all this.
And then you just can't remember anything.
And then I just have no time scale at all. But I think it must have been late 2018, I think, when I first had the idea. And the idea really came because I'm an equine musculoskeletal practitioner anyway. So I basically just got really annoyed one day with handwriting out exercise plans, scribbling them out at the end of an appointment session, which had probably already overrun. And I'm handing over this scratty piece of paper that I just knew was doing my clients and my work a disservice. So I came home, I ranted about it to my husband, Dave, who just happens to be a software developer. So I basically just said to him one day, I was like, there has to be a better way to do this. It's ridiculous. Let's start giving it some thought. And I'm not really sure what the time period was between that rant and actually putting the wheels in motion, because again, there's been children thrown in there, pregnancy and birth, but I know it was like a bit of a transition period for me with becoming a mum and what my work-life balance was going to look like, really. But I think from when we actually started to properly get our heads down on it and decide to start work, it probably took us about 18 months.
So I think often these things you think, oh, this is going to be easy, I'll just do this. And then you realize how long it actually takes, right? Because also your first, plan of what you think it's going to look like, it never ever materializes. And it looks completely different to what you first planned, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it really, really did. And I think it's, I'm not a techie at all. I don't come from a tech background. So this kind of partnership between me and Dave, it's me that's at the helm, kind of driving the business forward. It's my vision, but, he is the software developer. Trying to communicate what's in my head to a techie is just like crazy. Basically, it started off with a lot of A4 pieces of paper with me kind of scribbling some page layouts on it and how I wanted it to look. And I'd hand in these pieces of paper, go, look like this. And he's going, okay, I might need a bit more than that. So it's been an interesting dynamic.
And so what is it like working with your husband? I mean, are you guys in the same office?
Yeah, well, we're still married, so that's a good start.
That's good.
Yeah. So we predominantly work in the same office. So he's got his own software development business. So he's here in the office working, with his staff. I have my little corner desk here, beavering away doing my stuff. And, the reality is that, he's got his own company to run. He spends the majority of his time serving his clients. It's not that he's spending every day, I wish he was, working on Equicantis. It's really not. This is built in whatever bits of development time we can find.
Yeah. And so what have the major challenges been?
How long's this podcast? Oh gosh, there's been so many challenges. So much positivity has come out of it. But I think like the business challenges, particularly of just being, well, first of all, where to even start with something like this. And I think we've had different challenges the whole way through. I mean, the good thing is when it's come to software challenges, I'm able to just hand that over to Dave and just say, no, this is what I want to create. You can solve that problem. So he could probably answer things on that side of things because I don't get too deeply involved. But there's been lots of challenges personally, I suppose, with even creating it in the first place, particularly with creating the exercise library, that I've always stood behind the fact that Equicantis is providing these exercise videos, but I'm not standing up there and saying, this is how all these exercises should be done. They're not there for training purposes. I understand that people will do these exercises slightly differently, but I must say it was a difficult thing mindset wise, I suppose, to try and overcome, because I put a lot of pressure on myself, feeling like, am I the right person to be doing this? Should I be the one doing these exercises? Even though I've got my qualifications, I am well placed to do them. But the imposter syndrome all comes in, doesn't it? When you're trying to figure out how to do these, how they're going to be perceived. And I just really had to have a word with myself, strip it back. I know what I'm doing. These are the exercises I'm putting out there on the platform, and be okay with the fact that some people are going to do them differently. That's why we've built in part of Equicantis is how editable it is, that you can create your own exercises. I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying this is the way they should be done. It's a tool for people to use. So that was a challenge. I guess the time, the finance and the life juggle is a constant challenge, because I've got so many ideas for Equicantis. The reality is I only work in this business 3 days a week. I'm still treating horses 2 days a week. I have 2 young boys who are 4 and 2. Like, life is hectic. So the challenge of trying to develop and create what I want to create, I want it done yesterday. And it's just not realistic, And I think a lot of people would, of course, obviously like us to be able to do things a lot quicker. But I think the challenge of just being okay with doing things at the pace that you're able to at the time is a constant challenge.
Yeah, listen, having kids and doing what you're doing, you're juggling loads and loads of balls. So you're doing a great job. So don't be hard on yourself. Do you have any help? Have you got any assistance or anything? Or are you doing most of the administration for Equicantis?
Yeah, it's just me. It's just me doing everything at the moment. Yeah, I just try and do everything. And, I've got quite a mixed background. Before being an equine practitioner, I was a journalist. I worked in PR for a little while. So I have got a few other skills to bring into the mix. But yeah, the time is going to come, I think, quite soon, where I need to start letting go a bit, bring in some help. But again, the reality is, business and finances and life and where you actually want to where your money's best place spent to further the product on.
Yeah, no, exactly. So when you were doing all this filming, how was that? I mean, how did you do that? Did you have a film crew? Did you just have somebody? Because I mean, listen, I created the online course and I just used a phone, and the videos were perfect. They're fine. I mean, nowadays the iPhones are great, right? And Android phones, you can film anything with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk us through how that whole process went. How did you plan all of it? How did you get the animals to do them? And yeah, how long did it take you?
Oh yeah, so everything has been done, by myself, basically on a shoestring, because you're starting a business out from scratch. So yeah, all the videos have either been filmed by myself. So I've filmed the canine ones where I've brought in a canine specialist to actually do the exercises, or I team up with a couple of great BHS coaches, and it's their yard that I go to film the exercises. So I'll be doing the exercises. Yeah, Amy or Alice is just standing with my phone filming them. I'm bringing them back, muting them, editing them, uploading them. Yeah, so we've got tons of bloopers. And I must say, like, the horses are good. So they've mostly got a lot of section Ds. So some of they are, considering that section Ds can be a little bit opinionated, they're a really great bunch of horses, well trained. So it's always fun, but I always have in my head this big long list of exercises that I think that we can get through. We never manage to get through all of them because animals are animals, aren't they? And it takes about 5 takes on each exercise to get what you want to do.
So are you still recording videos? I mean, have you still got exercises that you keep loading, or have you got everything that you need for now on there? I mean, do your clients keep saying, oh, what about this exercise? What about this exercise? So is it an ongoing process?
Yeah, it is an ongoing process. I have got a bunch of canine ones that I need to upload. There's a few finishing touches I need to do on them. And like most things, I thought they would be on the platform about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And then you end up needing to prioritize different things for different reasons. So yeah, there's a new bunch of canine ones to go up there. I've actually got a list of exercises for the next canine filming day, and we will do the next equine day. Weather plays a bit of a part with horses. So we've got a beautiful arena that we use, which is outdoor. We're in Britain. So filming during the winter isn't actually very, very good. I've tried out a couple of indoors, but it's not been right. It's not been the right environment to do. And some I had to refilm because I didn't like the environment. So I've actually held back, since October really, to try and do some more equine filming. But I am planning on bringing in a professional to do this filming, because this is going to be filming that involves a lot more dynamic movement, a lot more pole work. So I need someone who's a dab hand with a camera really to help me with that.
Even a drone maybe from above. Yeah.
Well, that would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe with a drone, watch his face. Yeah, I think maybe for now, it'll just be somebody who can operate a good video camera, has got some better editing skills than me, and we can put some cool exercises together.
Nice. So run through with the listeners exactly how it works. So you subscribe, you obviously get access. You go on there, there's a library. What can you do with that? So what you can look at it yourself, you can send it to clients. What are the other features?
Yeah, so basically, you can subscribe either monthly or annually, and you can use Equicantis for various different things. So you can use it to hold all your customers in there for starters. So it's a place where you can hold all your customer details, their names, their addresses, everything you need to know about them. The good thing about it, again, is that you can use that as much or as little as you want. So if you want to hold all your customer information in there, you can. But if you just want to put in their name and email address, then you can just do that. Same with the animals. You can put as much or as little information in there that's going to help you and your business. So you don't need to spend hours typing everything in there. So from there, you then have an exercise library where it's over 200 exercises at the moment, equine and canine combined. So you can select which exercises you want to form a plan for that particular client. You can then edit them. So one of the main things we wanted to do was make this as fully customizable as possible. So it is ready to go as is. If you just want to use exactly what we've got, you are good to go. If you want to tweak the descriptions, change the video, change the photo, change the name of the exercise, you can do all that, and you can then save that as your version of that exercise. You can change all your sets and reps and everything in there, how often you want them to be done, any extra notes for that client. And then basically from there, you've just got 3 ways to send the plan. So you can either just click the link to email now and it goes straight off to the client. You can copy the link. So you can just send the link to them. If you communicate with your client in a different way, you can just send them the link or download the PDF and you can copy your PDF in then. So particularly if you want to copy in your vet or something like that, you can just put it in the email.
Nice. Okay. And so when the owner gets the link,
Mm-hmm.
do they have to log in, or do they just go straight into that particular, like whatever, they only have those exercises?
Yeah.
So
They just have access then to those exercises that they need for that client. So that is a unique link that can only be accessed by people with that link.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And what has your feedback been from the vet rehabbers that have been using it?
Oh, do you know what? We've had such wonderful feedback. It's really nice to know that something that I was getting annoyed and frustrated with is something that was happening to a lot of practitioners out there. And the feedback of having something that's just done there, ready for them. And, I've had conversations with lots of different practitioners, talking about what they need, what we're providing, maybe how we can improve things. Like that's so valuable to me to know that it's not just what I'm thinking that we're developing, it's actually what people do want. So it's been about saving time. It's been about adding an extra level of professionalism and customer service. That kind of feedback is just, it's been great. Finding out how people are incorporating it into their business. Some people will use Equicantis there and then at the appointments on their phones or on their tablets. Other people come home and they like to do their exercise plans at home on their laptop. So just listening to how people are using it just gives me different ideas of what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I mean, if I look back when I was consulting, I mean, the biggest thing that used to happen was you would show the owner the exercises, and then they would come the next week and you'll be like, how did the exercises go? And they'll be like, well, I didn't really do it. I couldn't really remember how to do it. I'm like, okay, well, like, show me again. Like, you show me how you did it. And then it's like completely wrong. Go, no, like, let's just go run through this again. And you run through it again. And the next week, come and like, how'd the exercises go? And they're like, yeah, no, I'm doing it. I was doing it. And you're like, no, let's just change it a little bit. Let me show you. And so frustrating. It's like 3 weeks go by and oh my gosh, this dog could be so much more further progressed in its rehabilitation if the strengthening was being done right. So I love this idea. And I mean, I used to have a sheet in my practice that was like I think it was like a image or something, me showing and then written explanation. I think it was like, I'm talking 2006, 2007. So like videos and things, that we didn't really have those kind of things. I don't even think our phones could record videos. So I mean, it's such a help, really, and so empowering for the owners, right? Because they suddenly, and they can look at it again and look at it again. Is there a way for the owner to communicate there with the vet rehabber, or is it just for them to look at? And then any communication would be via WhatsApp to them. There's no notes or comments or anything they put on the app.
Yeah, so there isn't at the moment. We don't have that two-way communication. Might be something, it will be something that we look at in the future, but at the moment our priorities are elsewhere, because a lot of feedback that I've heard as well is that practitioners and the clients are already in communication with each other. It's not necessarily the next immediate thing to move on to in terms of our development. But you hit the nail on the head earlier, and it's something that I talk about quite a lot, is empowering the owner, because I think that's where I think that there's such a disconnect at the moment with exercise plans that we're trying to improve on, I suppose, because how is an owner supposed to remember how to do an exercise that you showed them once? It's not giving the owners confidence, and it just ends up in this vicious circle that if the end goal is to improve the animal, something's going wrong in the middle there. And you need to be in a position, if we can empower the owner to have the confidence to do these exercises correctly with much more confidence, it's only going to be for the good of the animal, and then that will strengthen the relationship between the practitioner and the animal owner.
Yeah, I think also the owners are so overwhelmed, right? Like, especially, they've come in, and even if it's not you usually wouldn't give them exercises on the first consult, but no matter if it's third or fourth or whenever they're coming in, they've just got so much that they're thinking about, that I think it's to try and give them instruction like that is so difficult. And to be honest, even if I think about when I go to a human physio and they give me the exercises, I remember maybe half of them, and I'm in the field, right? So I should remember more. And I think what I was thinking, which would be quite nice too, is for us as vet rehabbers, you sometimes get stuck in your ways with certain exercises that you use. So it's nice to be able to go onto a platform and be like, oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, that's a new exercise. Like I've never used that one or given that one. That might work for this horse or this dog, So just having a little bit of a library just to give yourself ideas and to stimulate some thoughts, and maybe just to give you new exciting ideas on exercises that you can do, and not be stuck in your ways and use the same ones all the time.
Yeah, to be honest, I can find that myself sometimes, that even I'll go through the library to make an exercise plan and go, oh yeah, I forgot I put that exercise on there. And it's like even reminding myself that there's a particular exercise on there that I don't actually use that often. And it can just break a bit of having, let's just try something different, because I've not really used this one before. So obviously I use it myself out in the field anyway. So it even works for me like that.
I have the same thing on the Onlinepethealth platform. I'll go into the business basics area, and then I'll see like something, I'll be like, oh, that sounds interesting. And I'll click on it and I'll be like, oh, I did that. I did that. That was me.
I know.
And then you listen and I'll go, I feel like actually listening to yourself,
It's like my tasks list. Like I use Asana for my task board, and I'll start writing like a new idea or a new thing, and then it'll like crop up elsewhere in the search. It's like, oh, I already had that idea. It's like I've just not come back to it to pad it out. And kind of my ideas board is just like a huge bunch of ideas.
That's good. To have loads of ideas is great. So what can we look forward to in Equicantis? What's coming up? Something that's not top secret that you're able to share with us.
Okay. I mean, the plan has always been to kind of integrate lots of different business tools into Equicantis. So those business tools, the extra business tools, are starting to happen. So you can expect there to be more coming in terms of recording your notes. So that will start to be integrated. I'm not sure, because everyone always asks, when are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? And I feel like I've been talking about it for such a long time, but there's been quite a few barriers for us to actually getting to that stage of really being able to make a move on that. But that will happen, as well as integrating different invoicing and calendars. So everything's kind of in one place. That's always been like the big main goal. But and adding to the exercise library, obviously that is just going to continue. So I almost think about it as in Equicantis as it is at the moment as exercise plans. There are new features that we will be building into that to make the exercise plan process quicker, slicker, a few more features in there to help that process. Then the next part of the process, I suppose, is making the entire business tool of Equicantis and how that is going to look going forward. And there's actually going to be a new community type element to Equicantis. That's kind of a very exciting thing that I'm literally working on at the moment. And I think I'll be in a position to start talking about it properly soon, because some bits and pieces will be going live on that in the middle of next month, but it's not finalized enough yet to really talk about what it's going to be. But the main premise behind it is really, I think, being a practitioner myself and starting to dig a bit deeper into the challenges that I find as a practitioner, the challenges I find running different businesses and a family, and how that all kind of comes together to make you as a person. It's going to be kind of along that kind of wavelength of just how can I pull together what I know and resources that I have to help practitioners get on better in their business, but just get on better in life. How can we make practitioners even more awesome than they already are?
Love it. So at Onlinepethealth, we are passionate about making vet rehabbers awesome and successful. So let us know when you're launching it. We'd love to support you in that.
Amazing.
Laura, it's been so wonderful chatting to you. Before we finish off, I want to say a big thank you to you, because Laura has kindly given all the Onlinepethealth members a 15% discounts, guys. This is on a month-to-month basis. It's so generous. Thank you so much. Onlinepethealth members, there is a discount area. If you haven't found it yet, you better go there. There are loads of companies that have products and services that give discounts, and Equicantis discount is in that discount area. If you need help, just reach out to us either on Instagram or Facebook, and we will send you the link and direct you there. But Laura, thank you so much. So basically, there's a link. You'll click the link, and you can go straight through, sign up with that 15% ongoing discount. That's on a month-to-month basis, guys. So it's a big saving going forward. So Laura, thank you so much for that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Yeah. So do you want to tell everyone the website and where people can find you?
Yeah, so it's just equicantis.com. We're on Facebook, obviously, as well. We do have the Facebook group as well, which is the Equicantis network. So if you pop over in there, there's a bit more activity, a bit more kind of behind the scenes stuff where I ask you guys questions to help me. It's a bit more personal in there, really. So if you want to kind of get a bit more down and dirty with Equicantis, you can pop over there and be involved in that community.
Awesome. Thanks, Laura. It's been so lovely chatting to you, and good luck with everything.
Great. Thanks very much, Meg.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the subscribe button so you get notified every time I load a new podcast. I'm here every week talking to vet rehab therapists from all over the world about all things vet rehab. Now, don't forget to bookmark our next Vet Rehab Summit. This is on Friday the 10th and Saturday the 11th of November. Come and be a part of the world's largest online veterinary rehabilitation conference created specifically for you, the vet rehabber community. Onlinepethealth members, you get VIP complimentary access to the Vet Rehab Summit. For more information about continuing education for vet rehabbers, you can go to onlinepethealth.com.